Welcome to the channel. Today I am with my friend Javier. There he is. We are on a kind of a rapids in Tampere, a small one, which is supposed to have mills from all the way from 14th, 15th century. I mean, the museum officials have researched this place extensively, but as you know, I don't trust their findings much. So we're taking from an engineering point of view up into the forest and see what we can find of old mills or old technology. Okay, now we continue that way and see you when we find something. So Javier found this rock here. Let's see if you can. If you can see, here's drill, and it's not a long drill. So, and it's very narrow, so it's an older one, not from last 50-60 years, and it's very roughly done. So already in the early part of this rapids, where there was not supposed to be anything, is stones that have been drilled and blown up and broken apart. We were just wondering about this part. You see a lot of stones. There's not supposed to be anything here, but based on what we saw, there has definitely been action here. Done something with stones built. Okay, back to you when we find more. So you see Javier there. We find another spot with a lot of rocks on both sides of the bank like this. So far we haven't found drill marks yet, but compared to the rest of the forest, I would say these are human-made piles. And maybe it meant that they cleared out some of the stream, or this is part of the remains of some building. Oh, I found drill marks here. Here's drill marks. So it's confirmed this pile of rocks is all human-made. All remains of, and the drill marks are those of old drills. So here's already before what they mentioned in the museum people's documentations. This is a human-made pile of rocks, drilled, and maybe this was part of some construction here as well, way before what they marked on the museum website. But yeah, just double showing again. Here's a drill mark, and you found one?
Yes, there's one right here.
Okay, going.
And it's quite old because it has some moss.
Yeah, there's drill marks and moss on top. Okay, we got confirmed. This is a human-built site. All of these piles of stones here are human-built. I don't think they were quarrying here, but of course it's possible these stones was brought elsewhere and they was used for building, and this is what remains of whatever was here. And these are very shallow and like small drills and not very deep, so they're quite early. Probably not from the 15th century, but who knows. And more stones. This is quite sketchy terrain. The holes are full of water. So Javier found another drilling mark there. And so all of these piles of rocks here, which just look like normally piles, these are all human-made piles of rocks here. Yeah, there's drill marks everywhere. These are rare. There's not so much anymore, there's stones. We suspected these huge piles of rocks continue that way. They're all full of drilling marks. So this is all human-made, and we can speculate what was here. Yeah, I think we've confirmed this is definitely human-made, and some of the even has iron ore remains, like has some amount of iron in the ore. Maybe not even brought from here. But for whatever reason, maybe this was an embankment, maybe a building, or just dumped them here. Difficult to tell. Okay, we continue. I had it off. Look at. So we're looking at this mill site here, possible. There's some interesting stones here, but people often think these mills are small. But even in this, with the water level rising, going down, the infrastructure, the buildings, they were big. all the axles, all the wheels, they were huge. Even in the earliest times, they were not small wheels in the streams. So they could have easily spanned from here, from the forest, all the way to the other big logs, big structures. There was infrastructure to bring here whatever you had, big sacks of seeds, lumber, whatever you did here. You need to have roads, everything. So yeah, people have this overly unrealistic feeling of what they really were like. Well, you need to be engineered to understand that. But yeah, we're investigating, and Javier managed to go to that side. Wish him good luck on coming back. So we're walking on a path. We're trying to find, we only went through half of the rapids and the smaller part. Main part we still need to get access to. Google Map showed there should be a bicycle path here, which wasn't. So yeah, reality is very different than what maps saw. So we're back to the rapids, and yeah, could this be the remains of the stone bridge we read about? Let's see, take an engineer's point of view. I think we're supposed to go across it. There's a path on the other side. I think some people thought this is the remains of a stone bridge, but or is it just a random pile of stones? Yeah. Is there any like drill marks, chisel marks, anything on these stones? That looks like an embankment. On this side there's more. Javier, I think this is maybe not a stone bridge, but rather that was an embankment for a bridge. And I think that's the other side. So it necessarily wasn't here. These are just random stones fallen or dropped here to make a crossing. Because that looks like it's 4 stones put on top of each other, and there's more stones there. So per se, I would not say this is necessarily remains of an actual bridge. These are just remains of what's been fallen into the... Yeah. Yeah. So this is just what was left. I think this 4 group of stones here behind this tree show that it's like here was a bridge at one point. Now it's in pieces. Yeah. Okay, I need to set this off and move.
Literally a construction plant. You can see even like the cuttings.
Oh yeah, there's some. Oh yeah, there's a hole.
Also the flat cutting of the tree.
Yeah, you can see there's clearly a construction plank stuck between there. Maybe newer, older version of this bridge. Don't know. There's pieces. You can tell that here was something, but not sure it was an old stone bridge. I doubt it. Yeah. Side of a bridge. And more stones. Any drill marks here? And again, piles of waste rock piles here. If you see drill marks, we know for sure what it was.
And all that moss is
Covering, yeah. But sure it's a pretty place. And actually I think I forgot to record that, or it went wrong, but we found there's an old train tracks nearby, train track bed, and we found some piles of wood underneath the tracks, rotting in the forest. So Javier made another great finding. There's a wall there. It looks a bit too much like it's been piled in a certain way, and it just collapsed to this side, everything. And equally well you can see here stones, and especially here an edge line, and like they form a square here. and it's like the stones have just collapsed inside. There's more over there. So I mean, I guess it's possible that here was a mill or some sort of building, and that was the edge of it, and whatever was there was the wheel or something like that. Or a dam, but clearly signs of collapsed wall here, more wall underneath me. Now it would be cool to find a drilling hole. Oh, and it continues over there too. Yeah, next to Javier there's a wall there. Okay, I'm going to climb there. We're going to see if we can find drilling marks, because that would be the confirmation. As you can see here. Yeah, this is a human-made, 100%. But now if you could see, and there's also shapes there, and here was some sort of building. But I'm like, did they, I mean, based on the drilling marks, we could define how old they are. So I'm standing on the possible mill remains. Yeah, there you can see it's been piled and made a wall. And it continues over there. So this is definitely the side of a building. Unfortunately, I can't see any drill marks, so I can't tell really about the age, any chisel marks, anything. Yeah, you can see the what was the bottom of the some sort of building. What's left, the wall was higher than what it's now. It's like collapsed all the way down there. The rocks have collapsed from there to there. Since I don't see any drill marks, this could possibly be a very old, one of the older sites in this area. Okay, returning back to the path. Javier saw drill marks.
You can see drill marks in those stones.
Oh yeah.
They're on both of them.
So I don't know if you can see, but there's drill marks on stones on that side of the river. So that's confirmed. Could be more. So I don't know if they had a dam here or how the system works, but this is definitely the location of some human activity and buildings. I think we reached the end of it. Javier was great help. He saw a lot of stuff I missed. So we found actually, I think, some of the older stuff that was around here, and maybe some stuff the museum people didn't see. I mean, we didn't find everything they saw, but there was a lot of small gaps where it's like there was no way to get to. It's almost like they don't want people to walk there, but yeah, we found that great mill site and West Rock Pass and everything. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.